Today, this is Jazz 313 with a continuation of Your Vagina is Not an ATM. Your Vagina is Not an ATM. This is episode 2 of that particular series. We want to jump right into this. If you like what we're doing, click subscribe and share. Those who've been around, we're talking about things that are destroying America, and particularly the black community. We know 80% of the kids right now are born without a mother or father. There's all types of rhetoric out here, but there's just 3 things I want to go over today. Is Wayman, it was a Supreme Court case, Wayman versus James. I will put that in the description. Talked about in the 60s in New York, where they outlawed the perpetual 24 hours rotation of a social worker coming into a lady's house, checking to see was a man there. The government systematically, with the Democratic Party, the Socialist Communists, they created this AFDC. Welfare has always been around. People need help. We was on food stamps. You know, I'm not embarrassed to say that, but I'm just telling you this here, woman, your vagina is not an ATM. God gives you so much power. And men, we must respect women. I have 4 daughters, over 13 sisters, and a mother that's still on this earth. I love women. I respect women. I've made mistakes, but I can tell you one thing. Every woman I have dealt with, for the most part, she was better off when I left. That was my whole goal. But anyway, in Chicago, I was on a cruise this week, and I was talking to a chief detective, and I just asked the person, what is the problem with the black-on-black crime in Chicago? He said, what the news media report, and what actually happened, women are setting men up. I guess people meet on these internet-type dating sites, and it's a setup for robbery. That is what's going on. Innocent people. Woman, your vagina is not to be used to get money. I mean, I'm thinking about right now, I hate to dwell into current events. The current event of the lady who was ungrateful that a man took her to the Cheesecake Factory. Last I looked at Cheesecake Factory, I don't really eat that stuff, but when I go, I get that barbecue chicken salad. I mean, Cheesecake Factory, you can go all over Buckhead, Cincinnati, anywhere. It's a 2-hour wait. For you to be ungrateful, if a man take you to White Castle, you should have enough decency, just human decency, to say thank you and be grateful. I've had a woman once, I took her to a Brazilian restaurant, and she looked me dead in the face and said, well, it wasn't Italian. And I mean, I work hard for my money. Those of you who know me, yeah, I'm retired, but I have a little small tree business. I work very hard, life. And I was like, wow, spent $150. This is what you say? So young man, I'm gonna just tell you right now, it is not worth dating these females that have a materialistic attitude, who think their booty and their boobs are a ticket or ATM, or you're an ATM. And young man, you can't lead with your wallet. Some of you have no game, no finesse. You think pulling up, let me tell you something. You could go down in Chicago, 79th Street, you can go to Liberty City, go anywhere, Compton. If a woman likes you, you don't need no money. You can see a lady out catching the bus with her man and they kissing and booed up, versus at the country club that I'm a member of. Guys can have a Rolls Royce and a Bentley, and the woman still ain't happy. I mean, if you haven't seen with Tom Brady, he gave that Brazilian model $500 million. Jeff Bezos, he gave that lady so many billion. I mean, so money don't make anybody. If you're a leading man, that's the reason why we're creating these prostitute mindsets. These ladies today, I mean, I'm out the dating scene. I'm really past that phase, but I just want to just give this knowledge. Your vagina is not a ATM, and your penis is not a checkbook. When you look at these communities, that's, God bless Israel, God bless the Palestinians. I don't know too much about that, but I hate any kind of war. But when you look at the strength of a civilization, it is because of the family. You look at all the great empires that have failed, from Babylon to Egypt, to Ethiopia, to Rome, to Greece, to London, now America. is you can trace it back to one thing, the breakdown of the family. And women, and especially the black community, if you look at Planned Parenthood, these type of things they only put in our communities. It is population control to get rid of our kids, but also to stop the European lady from having babies, because they know that's why they fight so hard on the border. They don't want to let these people in from South America because they know one man, one vote. That's why they plan all these games with redistricting, gerrymandering districts, doing whatever they can to remain power. So you have to look between the lines. Your vagina is to bring forth life. To bring forth life. Not to use it as a commodity for OnlyFans. If you're going to be a whore, be a straight up whore. Go to Amsterdam, go to Vegas, and be a whore. Because here's what happens. It's unintended consequences, or people in war call it collateral damage. The collateral damage is having a baby that you didn't want, the guy that ran away, now the baby is a menace out here in society. These are social science engineered concepts and constructs. First, let me just say, I don't want to sound like I'm being judgmental or preaching. I'm just telling us what we have to do to bring our families together. When you look around and you see this, just a dire straits of, my baby daddy, my baby mama, you see, people are just living in all types of just different kinds of lifestyles. And then they got to answer God. I don't even want to go there, but I know one thing. When you look at a rooster, the rooster, he rules his roost. He gets everybody in line. I've seen when you have a man as a former principal, when a young boy have a father to drop him off at school, when I make eye contact with that boy know I'm going to tell his father's going to correct it. I can remember myself at 12 or 13 years old. My mother tried to whoop me and I stopped her. She went and got my grandfather. But if that man wouldn't have been in my life, I would have ran the house. I had a couple years ago, I've been retired for 5 years, where a lady called me, a parent, on my phone, put me on speaker. Her kids locked her in the basement, her boys. Listen, a young man needs guidance, like a baby wolf need to be taught. They know this. When I say they, these people who put these policies in process. Remember, the abortion clinic is here to eliminate young black kids. Women in Chicago are using their vaginas to lure these guys in to get shot. When you got ungrateful women who don't want to go to Cheesecake Factory, and somebody go out and order a bunch of clams on you. They said it was a fake internet, but just that mindset. When you see a woman who is ungrateful, run from her black ass. If you see a woman, this is what we call in The Oldest Monk, this is a jazz-based show, it's called Straight No Chaser. A lot of people out here faking relationships. If you're not happy, I don't advocate divorce. Let me say that. If you can stick in there, stick in there. Because, especially if you have minor kids. But faking it, look at old poor Will Smith and Jada. A lot of people fake it. Well, one thing, I may have been raised crazy, but one thing I learned from my father, he did not fake it. All the women he had and all the kids he had, he acknowledged. I'm not saying he was a moral guy, but he had to answer to God like we all do. But I'm telling you, some of the dysfunction that I witnessed and I grew up with, I don't wish it on anyone. Not that I'm mad. I love my parents. God bless my dad, my mom, she's still here. But woman, you control a whole lot. When you at a club, twerking your booty like an in-heat dog, you shouldn't act that way. But you act that way because your mama was divorced with three baby daddies. Your grandmama was divorced with 3 baby daddies. You want to be right, but we have not been taught, including myself. I've had images of what's right, what's wrong, but it's time for us to get rid of what these people taught us. The old, I'm your mama, I'm your daddy, I'm that blank in the alley. Want some dope, want some weed, I'm your push man. Or all this rap music, B-H-H-H. You'll never hear a country Western guy call his woman to be a H. You'll never hear the guy playing Yiddish music, calling his wife a B or H. You'll never hear Beethoven writing a symphony calling his girl a B or H. It's time for us not to be tricked by the devils in Hollywood, the music moguls. Some of you rappers, Some of you rappers, the ones who rapping about real stuff like my man Nas, you can be what you want to be, he uplifting you. I'm not knocking the genre because like my man Theolus Monk say, straight no chaser, be who you are. But remember, some of this foolishness is contributing to the delinquency of our kids. When you look at these kids now, went to a football game, Ferndale, Oak Park, they shoot in the parking lot. I mean, this is nothing new. But I played basketball, we didn't do this kind of stuff. And it's because of the breakdown of the family. Woman, your vagina is not an ATM. Man, your penis is not a checkbook. It's time to lead with morals. It's time to lead. Whatever your book is, whether you Hindu, Buddhist, Christian, I can care less, Jehovah's Witness. The book always taught and teaches about family. It teaches a woman that you have a special place. A man, our job is to provide and protect and teach. Woman, you are the gateway. Close your legs and quit selling your coochie. Your coochie is just more than a cheap thrill. Men, we love sex, including me, we love sex. If you walk around, I'm going to try to, if my mind is not right, but it's time for men to be men, to teach our men to treat these women like queens that they are. And women, it's hard to treat a queen like a queen if she acting like a whore. Your vagina is not an ATM. Until we meet again, this is Jazz 313. Thank you for letting me have your eyes and ears. The channel is growing. I've taken a different turn. We still jazz-based, but we're doing some mechanical stuff. This right here is just one that was on my heart. But this is an episode. I'm going to do 3 more of these when I get some more fresh information. But remember to check out the description. And I want you to just read that law. Again, Jazz 313. Thank you, and see you next time.